Derby County host Hull City on Tuesday night in what is a massive fixture in the EFL Championship. Now, Derby County are quickly finding themselves becoming one of the form sides in the division, while Hull City have had a great start to the season as well, and also are very much in that discussion for being one of the best teams in the league. Now, obviously, this is going to be a huge game on Tuesday night. Can Derby County make it 4 wins on the spin, or will Hull City spoil the party? We're going to get into all of it, looking at the latest injury news and the predicted 11s heading into the game on Tuesday night. But if you have not done so already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. Now, in terms of injury news for Derby County and both Hull City, there is a few players expected to miss out on this game. Now, obviously, for Derby County, the latest news in regards to that of Max Johnston suggests that he's going to be out until the end of December. You look at someone like Lewis Travis, who is still a couple of weeks away. Curtis Nelson did make his return to the under-21s just the other day, and Owen Beck still needs to play for the B team. Now, in terms of QPR, Bellumi, Matarzo, Lundstrom, Palmer, Miller and McBurney are all expected to miss out on this one, but will they still be able to secure 3 points? Now, for Derby County, it's been a miraculous turnaround over the course of the last couple of weeks, with them picking up 3 back-to-back wins against Norwich City, QPR and Sheffield United. Now, they were defeated by Oxford United just a couple of weeks after their really good draw, in my opinion, against Southampton. Now, honestly, when you look at the form of both sides, Derby County definitely in great form so far, but Hull City also are in tremendous form. 4 wins and 1 draw in their last 5 games, most recently beating Norwich City 2-0 on Saturday. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to turn around and act as if this game is going to be easy for Derby County, because it certainly isn't. But being at home and with the formation and the setup that we've been doing over recent weeks, Derby County should have a great opportunity. Now, many of you will know, back in the summer, Derby County looked at trying to complete a deal for Cody Drammer. Obviously, that deal never concluded, which led to Derby County going and picking up Max Johnston in that right wing back role. And Cody Drammer isn't necessarily a starter for Hull City. Now, if we do look at the Hull City's predicted 11, in fact, this is their starting 11 from their previous game versus Norwich City as per Football. But it's Pandor in goal, Giles on the left, Coyle on the right, Egan and Hughes as your 2 central defenders, Hajmet as one of the holders, Slater on the other side, Geldhart and Ndala on either wing, with Crooks behind Joseph up front. And don't get me wrong, in my opinion, that is a very good side for Hull City, and they've certainly been performing to the top of their levels. Obviously, missing out on Ollie McBurney, Liam Palmer and Lundstrom and Casey Palmer and players like that is going to have an impact, but ultimately they do have some very, very good talent on their squad. Now, in terms of Derby County, their previous starting 11 was Zetterstrom in goal, a back 3 of Langas, Sanderson and Clark, a midfield 4 of Ward on the right, Fozzie on the left, Ozo and Clark as your midfield pair, with Briatan Diaz and Patrick Agyemang in behind Carlton Morris. Now, Derby County's number 9, Carlton Morris, absolutely stole the show against Sheffield United. It was a wonderful performance by Morris. 3 brilliant goals as well, took all 3 really, really well. And ultimately, you can't really take much away from that signing from Derby County. It's been a huge move this summer. Now, if we do look at the league table, Hull City find themselves level on points with the playoff positions. They're behind Preston North End and Bristol City, both on goal difference. All 3 of the teams are on 22 points, 2 points behind Millwall and Stoke, with Middlesbrough and Coventry just leading the way. But ultimately, the only team that's getting any closer to those top 2 positions is Stoke. After the leaders lost both their games, Bristol lost, Millwall lost. It wasn't a good weekend for them. Now, you go down to Derby County, they do find themselves in 17th position, but 9 of their 17 points have came in the last 3 games, which has been absolutely tremendous for them. Now, another 3 points could put them as high as 8th place, just outside those playoff positions, as Derby County head into their next away fixture up against Blackburn Rovers. But Are they going to be able to secure another 3 points? That is the big question. All of a sudden, Derby County have become very defensively solid. They've started creating decent chances going forwards as well. And I think you can't really take away from the impact that Derby County have had in bringing in Sondre Langas as that right centre-half for me. I think he's been absolutely phenomenal in that back three. I think his aggression has sort of helped with Sanderson and Clark with their ability as well, which I think is massively important for Derby County, because if you don't have that sort of aggression in your back three, the back three is never going to work. Derby will know this from previous years when we've tried it, without having that aggressive, athletic centre-half. And Sondre Langas is one of those centre-backs who can get on the ball and counter against an opposition from a corner, which we've seen a few times. Did it up against Norwich last season, did it a couple of times at the weekend, and I think we're going to see more and more of that as he gets back fit, but we are obviously going to sort of have to wait and see how that goes. Now, in terms of home form, Derby County find themselves 16th. Only 2 wins at home this season, both coming in recent weeks against Norwich and against QPR. And then Hull City at home, they've only lost once, 4 wins, 2 draws, 14 points. But obviously the home form for Hull City does not really matter. In terms of away form, Derby County 14th, Hull City 13th. Both teams have done the exact same thing. 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats. The only difference is Hull have scored 8 compared to Derby. No, Hull have scored 10 compared to Derby's 8. And Derby have conceded 8 compared to Hull's 10. Now, in terms of the last 5 games, Hull City find themselves second in the division with 13 points from 5 games. Derby County find themselves 5th with 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat. That is 10 points from their final 5 games. And in terms of the XG chart, things are changing. Now, Derby County are 5 places higher than expected. Hull City are 16 places higher than they should be expected as per the numbers. But ultimately, no one cares what the numbers say if you get promoted. And it's going to be interesting to see if Derby County, if John Eustace can continue this form, and even Hull City as well, who have been in an excellent vein of form to start this year. Now, over the course of history, Derby County and Hull City have faced each other 21 times, I think, since 2010, where Derby County have come out on top on 12 occasions. Hull City have won just 7 with 2 draws on the board as well. Now, Derby County won the most recent fixture back in April with Nat Phillips scoring in the 84th minute, which was the goal which kept Derby County in the division. I think Hull City needed a result the game after to stay up, if I remember rightly. And ultimately, everything went their way. Luton Town lost. So it was sort of one of those where both teams ended up staying up. Both teams have progressed as well since then. Now, if we look at Hull City, the players we really need to look out for is Joe Goldhart, Ryan Giles, and Kyle Joseph. Very, very good performers. Joseph has 2 goals to his name this season. Goldhart has 6. Giles has 6 assists to his name as well. Obviously, I would normally say we need to worry about Ollie McBurney, but Ollie McBurney isn't expected to be available for this one, which is obviously massive for Derby County. Now, the aim for Derby County is to continue the run of form that Carlton Morris is in, and hopefully get a couple of other players scoring some goals, because we've had 9 different goal scorers this season, but only one of them has scored more than 1. And that is Carlton Morris, who has 8. And we sort of need, don't get me wrong, I like having goals from everywhere, but we need a little bit more than just one player with more than 1 goal, in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion. You can always let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments. I think if we go back and look at Blackburn Rovers from last season in terms of goals, there was, 18 different goal scorers, and 11 of them scored 2 or more, which was obviously good. But then there was only 4 players who scored more than 5 goals, with Guy, Dolan, Vyman and Ohashi. And Derby County really sort of need to make sure that they get some proper sort of goals on the board. Not saying that we need to go and score 20, 30, 40 goals over like 10 games or whatever, but obviously that would be nice. Now, obviously, if you haven't done so already, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Do you think Derby County can make it 4 wins on the spin at Pride Park on Tuesday night? I'll certainly be there watching along. If you have not done so already, hit like, hit subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye, guys.